Now we'll do matching information because it is a similar question type. This passage is also a very interesting passage. We'll do biofuels. Okay, we'll do this one, matching information, biofuels. So the passages are: biofuels really the greenhouse busting answer to our energy problems? It's not that simple, says Fred Pierce. Now again you can see that the paragraphs are labeled over here: A, B, C, D, A to G. All the paragraphs are labeled over here. What we have to do is, see, some informations are given to us. This is some information, like reasons for the success of bioethanol production in one region. We have to find out the paragraph which contains these information, and we have to write down A to G. We have to just write down the label of that paragraph, which paragraph contains this information. Got it, all of you? What we have to do over here? We have to match information to the paragraphs. Which paragraph contains these informations? Good. So can any one of you suggest me an approach how we should do this? See, there are two ways in which we can do it. First of all, you can take keywords from the question. You can take some keywords from here and you can search for these keywords in the passage. Alright. But the other way of doing it is, sometimes what will happen on the exam day, you will not find that there are keywords in the question. Many questions will not have any keyword. Right. So it will become difficult at that time. I would rather say that we'll follow the same approach that we did for, it's reverse of yes. So we can take the same approach. Exactly. So first we'll give headings according to us. We'll read the paragraphs. We'll get an overview of the passage by giving headings. Right. See, giving heading means what? Giving heading means we get an overview of the entire passage, right? Which paragraph contains what information. So once we have that idea with us, which paragraph contains which information, we'll come and we'll quickly match it with the paragraphs. Got it? So let's start doing the same thing. We'll go to the paragraphs and we'll try to give it headings. Now the first paragraph A. Yes, good. Definition of biofuel is there. Definition, types and significance. Yes, significance definitely. Types, is talking about types too. The two most common biofuels are, yes. Good. That would be a precise yes. You can say definition and importance of biofuels. Yes. Yeah, definition too. Yes, Aishwarya, importance and definition. Yes, definition and importance of biofuels. Good. Come to the second paragraph. Problems related to use of biofuels. Okay. Good. Scientific arguments on biofuels. Yes. Good. Renuka, it's talking about problems, but it's talking about advantages too. It's not only talking about problems, right? One biofuel showing its disadvantage. Okay. Contradiction between different ideologies. Yes. See, there are two groups of people over here that this paragraph is talking about. First, we have supporters. The supporters are talking about the positive aspect of it. Like it will soak up carbon dioxide. Okay. And what else will it do? It will give us green alternative to power our cars, bus and trains, so we can use it as an alternative fuel, right? Other scientists, however, so proponents and opponents. Supporters means proponents and other scientists over here are opponents. So there is an ongoing discussion over here. Some people feel that biofuels will do good to us. Some are feeling that no, it will have some kind of problems. So agreement and disagreement between proponents and opponents. Good. So you can write it in your own words. An argument between proponents and opponents. Good. Para C. History of biofuels. Okay, now think again. No, evolution, use of ethanol as a fuel. Good. Application of biofuels. Pranay, not application. Application, there can be many applications of biofuels, but application in only one area. What is it? Chronology. See, can I say that it's talking about how biofuels can be used or how they have been used actually, because it's referring to the past. It's talking about the Ford models, giving examples of such vehicles that have used, yes, used as a fuel till date. Yes, how they have used fuel in the past, and also how Brazil is still using it as a fuel, right? So we can say that it's talking about biofuels being used as a alternative fuel. Can I say that? Biofuels used as an alternative fuel. So write this down. All of you agree to what am I saying? Yes? Good, good, good. All of you? Okay. So biofuel as an alternative of petroleum and diesel, or you can say as a substitute of fuels, fossil fuels. Use of land for biofuel production. Yes. See, there is one thing to be noted over here. According to a recent study by the World Watch Institute, for Brazil to produce 10% of its entire fuel consumption requires just 3% of land. Okay, so Brazil requires 3% of land to produce 10% of its biofuel consumption. Okay, now you see, the same study estimated that to meet that 10%, US will require, so for the same 10% production, US will require 30% and Europe will require 72%. Right? So what should I say? Is it not comparing three places on the basis of use of land and comparison on usage? Yes. Comparison of countries based on the land consumption to produce 10% of its entire fuel consumption. Right? Can I say that? Or comparison of biofuel production on the basis of land consumed to produce 10% of the entire biofuel consumption. Getting it, guys? All of you? So it is basically comparing three countries. That's what it is doing on the basis of the land that they need. Good. Next para. So what is this para talking about? Several research groups have tried to compare fossil fuel emissions with those of corn ethanol at every stage of production from seed sowing to fuel production. So they are comparing the emissions from fossil fuel and with corn ethanol. And what have they found? A study by David Pimentel at the Cornell University in New York concluded that corn ethanol creates more greenhouse gases than burning fossil fuels. So they are comparing, and on the basis of the comparison, they have drawn a conclusion. Right? So comparing fossil fuel emission and biofuel emission. Good. Study of fossil fuel. No, Ashwarya. Emissions. Comparison of emissions from fossil fuel and biofuel. All of you got it? Rahul, good. Good. Okay. Good. Next one. So what is paragraph F? So paragraph F is talking about what will happen if the production of bioethanol increases, right? The impact of increase in the biofuel production. Individuals' opinion about growing use of corn. Good, good. People opposing biofuels because its production is affecting food supplies. Yes. Biofuel production would lead to shortage of food. Yes. Will lead, or we can say the consequences of increasing production of corn ethanol production. Increasing production of corn ethanol, right? What will be the consequences if the production of corn ethanol increases? What impact will it have globally, right? Good. Rather than using food, okay. Production of bioethanol in eco-friendly ways. Okay. Eco-friendly ways or non-food crops and waste biomass, right? Like, what are the alternate ways in which we can produce biofuels if we are not using food from non-food ways, right? Not from food. So, alternate ways of producing biofuels rather than, so what Saurabh has written over here is exactly correct. Another ways of producing biofuels rather than using food is the exact uh, exact heading that we can use. Yes, which can be used for biofuel production except food, right? Okay. So now I think all of you have noted it down, your headings, and you all know which paragraph talks about what. Now we'll start giving it headings. So first information lies in which paragraph? See, when can you say that it is successful in one particular region? Only when you have compared it with other regions, right? Good. Others. So, yes, and which is that place? Brazil, right? Brazil is the most successful place out of Europe and US. That's what we saw, right? So the answer is D. Now, an individual's prediction of the consequences of increasing production of corn ethanol. Where was this? F, right? What will happen when the corn bioethanol? Good, good. A reference to why biofuels might help to slow down global warming. So, where were we talking about the effects on atmosphere and all those things? What good will it do? See, one thing I'll tell you guys over here. One thing try to understand. Okay. For the first question and the second question, do we have, just look at the first statement and tell me, does it have any keyword? The first question over here. Does it have any keyword? See, try to understand why did we prefer skimming over scanning for this passage. We preferred skimming over scanning because none of the questions over here, I mean most of the questions over here do not have a keyword which you can take and you can search for those words in the passage. We do not have such words. But is there any such word in this paragraph that we can search for? Yes, I think there is a word that we can search for, right? Which is global warming. Getting it? Can we search for global warming? All of you agree over here that we can search for global warming because global warming cannot be paraphrased, right? So you have to act smartly. If there is a scope, if you think that you have read a statement and instead of skimming, you can exactly go with the keywords. So you can mark down the question numbers that these are the questions that have a keyword with them. So I can search for these keywords and I can get the answer. For other questions, when there is no keyword, you can go for the process of skimming. Getting it, you can apply both the ways. So we can take global warming as the keyword over here and we can search which paragraph talks about global warming. So global warming, it's talking about slowing global warming, right? So it's clearly written over here that many biofuels will barely slow global warming. So there are chances that it will slow down global warming. Got it? So very easily we can find it the answer because we have a keyword. Got it? So the answer is B. All of you? Good. Good. Next one. A definition of biofuel has to be A because the entire passage is about biofuel, right? So the definition has to be there in the first para. A reference to a research that found one type of bioethanol to be less eco-friendly than oil. It's talking about eco-friendly. Which one is, which paragraph? E, right? E was talking that fossil fuels are less eco-friendly and biofuels are more eco-friendly. Or sorry, fossil fuels are more eco-friendly. Good. Examples of how ethanol was used as a fuel petroleum. So where is the example in the paragraph C, right? How it was used in different models of the car and how Brazil is still using it, right?